Hey everyone, it's PB Otaku. Another package from Tokyo Otaku Mode came in recently, so you know what that means? That's right, another unboxing. Rather huge box too, isn't it? Well, I've been really looking forward to this one, so let's get on with it. Once again, here's the clear file folder that comes with every shipment. As usual, a great packing job by Tokyo Otaku Mode. Well, it looks like the figure box has a box of its own. So let's get rid of that box. And now let's open this box. I honestly don't see the point in this. Megahouse seems to do this with all of their figures. It just seems like a waste of cardboard to me. But whatever. Now that the figure box is out of its own box, let's go ahead and get rid of that box. How many times have I said box? And here's a statue of the mighty Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yugioh. It was made by Megahouse and it's part of their Artworks Monster series. Now let's open this up and get a closer look at it. As you can see, the Blue Eyes White Dragon is already attached to the base. And here is the left wing. And then here we have the right wing. Let's put the figure together now. The assembly process is really easy. Just attach the wings, make sure they're locked in and stable, and you're good to go. It takes about 15 seconds. You probably don't need to be as rough as I am showing, but I love it when the process is simple and stress-free. Here's an overall view of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It looks absolutely amazing. The Blue Eyes White Dragon isn't exactly white colored. It's more like a silver blue, which is more in line with how it looked in the anime series. Speaking of the color, from a full view, it's easy to see that the paint job is well done. It's blended together very well, and not a single part of the figure looks bland or flat. Let's take a closer look. The most standout part of this figure is its eyes. It's a very vibrant blue, and with the right lighting, it's just going to shine and stand out. Also, the Blue Eyes White Dragon looks extremely ferocious. What else can I say? Just look at it. This really isn't a criticism, it's more like an observation. The scales on the main body and the tail don't exactly seem dragon-like to me. It seems more alien-like. The scales remind me of the scales on a xenomorph from the Alien series, or a hydralisk from the insectoid Zerg race in the StarCraft series. Even though it's not dragon-like, it still looks really cool. As for the base, it's standing on top of a blue crystal with some green accents at the bottom. Maybe it's labradorite? The original version was perched on top of a purple crystal, perhaps amethyst. I much prefer the gemstone of the holographic version. Lastly, it's got a simple black base, it does its job and it's not too wide, so I'm fine with that. I also like the contrast with some details on the figure. The legs of the Blue Eyes White Dragon have a smooth and refined look, whereas everywhere else has a rough, wrinkled, and damaged look to them. Also, the nails and spikes have a translucent look that is nowhere else on the figure. Oh, speaking of the wings, they were one of the main issues people had with the original version of this figure. On the original version of the Blue Eyes White Dragon figure, the wings had two very short peg connectors that connected to the two holes on the back of the figure. This method of connecting was not sufficient at all. This would often result in the wings coming loose from handling the figure, or even just falling off on their own. My figure collection user Toyo also stated this in a very detailed review of the original release. I'll link it in the description. Well, Megahouse addressed that complaint with the holographic version. Megahouse removed the pegs and changed the connector to a slide and lock type connection. In addition, they increased both the length of the connector and the depth of the slot to add more stability. Unfortunately, while the left wing is perfectly fine, the right wing is slightly loose. However, with the improvements made to the connectors, it's not going to fall out on its own. Even with all that shaking, the wing never fell off. Although the wing is loose, this could be just my figure, and I feel Megahouse did a great job dealing with the issue. Another complaint I've heard a few times was a choice of color. The original version had accents of an off-white color on various parts of the figure, such as the tips of the scales and on the horns. Since the colors of the holographic version are more in line with the anime color scheme, those off-white accents are gone. It's now replaced with a bluish white with a hint of silver. In my opinion, it looks a lot better than the original. Also, despite being called the Holographic edition, there's nothing holographic looking about the overall coloring. If I were to guess, I believe Holographic merely refers to the color scheme from the anime version of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, which was predominantly shown as a hologram. This is a pricey figure, but I did manage to get decent savings on it. Tokyo Otaku Mode's annual super sale was underway when I pre-ordered, and they were offering 25% cashback for this item subtotal and 50% cashback from the express shipping cost. Also, I only needed to use $19.79 in Tokyo Otaku Mode points to drop the price to $150, the minimum needed to maintain discount express shipping. After all of the discounts and points usage, I paid $170.16 and received $47.58 in cash back to use for a future order. Had I ordered this from a competitor shop, I would have paid about $230 after shipping at the time of this figure's release. With the difference in price and cash back, I was plus $100 by pre-ordering at Tokyo Otaku Mode. W savings for me. And that does it for the unboxing of this really cool figure. Considering the improvements Megahouse made in response to the criticisms of the original version, I think the holographic version is vastly superior. I wouldn't recommend displaying the Blue Eyes White Dragon in an enclosed space like a glass cabinet or a bookshelf with doors. The Blue Eyes White Dragon statue takes up a lot of vertical space at about 13.5 inches tall, and it also takes up a lot of depth at about 8 inches, so it wouldn't be an efficient use of such areas. Frankly, the Blue Eyes White Dragon has such an eye-catching presence that it deserves to be displayed in a prominent spot. And it'll likely be the centerpiece of wherever it goes. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to Toyo from myfigurecollection.net. Thank you for allowing me to use your review photos of the original Blue Eyes White Dragon for comparison photos for this review. I'm going to link Toyo's in-depth review of the original Blue Eyes White Dragon statue and their link page in the description. Make sure you show them some love. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. My Patreon is also linked in the description. As always, contributing is never required, but any support you give me is truly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.